Hello, you were assigned the independent practice for finding the volume of rectangular prisms. So I want to review just a few of the problems that perhaps were more difficult. All right, so let's look at number one. The instructions say to find the volume of each prism. So here's a little tip. What I like to do is to go ahead and label each of these numbers. So this is the length. This is the width. And this is the height. Okay, so now that I have those labeled, I know that to find the volume, it's length times width times height. So before I can get into, I see this width here is a mixed number. Before I can start my multiplication, I need to go ahead and change this into an improper fraction. So I am going to start with going ahead and putting my big C for change, where I follow the arrow around. So I start at my denominator of 5, and I multiply that 5 by the whole number. So 5 times 4 is 20. Next, we're going to keep following the arrow up. I take that answer of 20 and I add it to the numerator of 2. So that is 22. And then I put that 22 over the original denominator of 5. So my answer for changing this into a mixed number is 22 over 5. Okay, so that's my width. Now I can go ahead and multiply that with my length of 10 and multiply that by my height of 3. Now notice I have a fraction here. So to make it easier, I am going to make the other two numbers look like a fraction as well. So now that we have 3 fractions and we are multiplying, we are just multiplying straight across. All right, so when I multiply the numerators, 10 times 22 is 220. Now that 220 times 3 is 660. For the denominator, 1 times 5 is 5. And then that answer 5 times my 1 is still 5. Now I can put this into my calculator, 660 divided by 5. And I get an answer of 132. So my answer for the volume of this rectangular prism is 132 meters cubed, or we can call it cubic meters. Okay, so let's look at the next one. We have another rectangular prism. And let's go ahead and get our get everything labeled. So I see the length is here for our 5 yards. Our width is our 10 yards. And our height is our 12 3/8 yards. All right. So notice here we have a mixed number again. Okay, so 8 times 12. And if you do not know your math facts, you're going to pop that into the calculator. So that's 96. And now we're going to take that answer and add it to our numerator of 3. So we now have 99. Put the plus there to remind you. All right, so we have 99. And we put it back over the original denominator of 8. So 99/8. And now I'm going to multiply that by my 5 And I could put that over 1 to make it look like a fraction, and times my 10. And again, we are multiplying straight across for our numerator and our denominator. Okay, so 99 times 5 is 495, and 495 times 10 is 4,950. And now let's go ahead and take care of the denominator. 8 times 1 is 8. And then that answer of 8 times another 1 is still 8. So let's pop this into the calculator. Remember that fraction bar means division. 4,950 divided by 8 is 618.75. And remember, our units are yards, so yards cubed or cubic yards. All right, let's look at number 3. Let's look at number 3. All right, let's go ahead. We have our length and our width and our height. And again, we have another mixed number. So our 4 times 4 is 16, plus our 3 is 19. We put it over the original denominator of 4. And we're going to multiply that by our 6 and put it over 1. And also multiply it by another 6 over 1. So again, let's multiply straight across for our numerator and our denominator. All right, so let's start with our numerator. We have 6 times 19, and that's 114. And then now we are going to multiply that 114 times that next 6. And that is 684. So let's now work on the denominator. 1 times 4 is 4, times another one remains as 4. Now we can pop into our calculator. 684 divided by 4 is 171. So notice these are inches. So our final answer is 171 cubic inches. Okay, so now you should feel more prepared to take on your extra practice today. And I hope this was a great review for you to know how to work with mixed numbers or fractions when you are multiplying. Have a great day.